So, this is probably one of the biggest turning points for me in my life. I'd like to think so, anyways. But I made a big decision recently, 2 days ago. Today is July 6th, and on the 4th of July, I woke up and I was scheduled to go into work that day. And I woke up for whatever reason, like 2 hours earlier than I usually do. And I just got to thinking to myself that, like, I'm in America, right? Land of the free. And you have unlimited opportunities to do whatever you want. And I just thought about how unfree I was feeling and how trapped in this corporate cycle I felt. So, to cut a long story short, I put in my 2 weeks at my job without a plan. So, I kind of spent the last 2 days kind of mulling stuff over and figuring out what route I want to take. But it's not so much being unhappy with my job. And I would have just up and quit on the spot because that's usually kind of how it goes in the industry I'm in. But they've been good to me, and it's kind of a courtesy to give them time to find a replacement. I'll work my 2 weeks. But it's not so much not enjoying the job. It's more feeling like it's gonna sound so corny, but being meant for more. And I've pushed this a bunch of times on this channel before, saying that you have unlimited opportunity and there's no rules to what you can and can't do. And so I don't want my life to be normal, if that makes sense. I want to take big risks, and I want to push further and do unconventional things, because that's how unconventional results happen. So yeah, I'm aware that it's really stupid and not a good idea at all to just up and leave your job with no plan. And I have a little bit of money to live for a little bit, but I'm really still on a timeline here to figure something out. There've been a lot of things that haven't worked for me, more not working than working. And one of those things was my wanting to pursue something else while working my job. Because I guess what the plan kind of was when I first started was to do this job, which I got into sales on accident. I actually thought it was like a marketing advertising thing. I moved out the second I turned 18, right? And I was shooting applications everywhere. And one of the places I applied to was Volkswagen up in Eugene, this town where I'm living now. And their thing was listed under marketing and sales and whatever. So I went up, did an interview, and I still didn't even fully know what I was doing, and I ended up getting some sort of sales thing. And it ended up being really fun, and they were a cool company, and they treated people with respect. And it was if it was any other dealership, wouldn't have done it. Because the thing about car salesmen, right? It's, scammers, terrible people. These people weren't. And I can appreciate that, being the place that people can actually come to for security and actually trusting their person. I can appreciate that, and I'm happy to be part of that. So yeah, they were good to me. And the original plan was to work there for a little bit and get some sales skills, because I know that's essential in business, right? Being good at sales is one of your number one things. And I feel like I kind of accomplished that, but the idea was to start that and then do advertising for them, because that's what I really cared about a little bit more, which was doing advertising, marketing, getting my skills up, doing that. And that got shut down by all the way up to the owner, and was not too happy with me representing the business that way, which is fine. I can respect that because it's his business. I thought it would have I get it for like liability purposes if I post stuff that like doesn't align with their views. But if it's more related to me than the actual business itself, I don't know. But anyways, that got shut down. And so I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to work this and then I'll do the marketing stuff on the side and go from there. And then once I have the marketing and advertising agency up, then once I have enough profit from that to take care of my living situation and my bills and like, I'm able to support myself on that income, then at that point, then I can phase myself out and solely do marketing and advertising. Well, every time I tried doing that and tried getting into it, and there were several attempts, it just, nothing ever completely stuck, because sales moves in this really weird set of waves. And this is my philosophy of life as well, is that everything is ebbs and flows. It's up and down. But it would be super slow at work where I was doing sales stuff, and that's when I'd work on my business, my advertising, and that worked well for a while. But then it would start to pick up at work, and then it was like I either have to put full focus and attention into doing the sales job and working like sometimes I'm scheduled for 5. I would usually go in 6 days a week, and it was not uncommon for me to go in 7. I was like scheduled hours were like 48 or something. It was never actually 48. It ended up going like above that quite often. So it was taking up so much time and mental space that I didn't want to come home and work on more stuff. Which, like, yeah, that's weak, whatever. I could have figured it out, right? But that wasn't working for me. So where I'm kind of at now is I work really well under pressure, and I've realized that that's something that, let me rephrase this actually real quick. There's different types of pressure I can work very well under. There's the pressure of having a million things going on at once and being able to figure out a path through. I'm really good at that. What I'm not so good at pressure is when I'm sitting at work and there's nothing going on and I'm just sitting there for 10 hours a day, not selling anything. Like, I'm working for free that whole time. And I don't deal so well with that. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is I want to put myself in a position where I have to win. Burn the boats sort of deal, right? So it's like I'm either going to go homeless or I'm going to figure this out. Gotta sneeze. So, giant leap and whatever, that's fine. I'm not encouraging this, but I have a ton of confidence in myself and my abilities to be able to figure out something that works. And I have, I had to taste. Baller. I have a plan. So I want to fully commit to this life of, I don't know why I even want to keep this like a secretive thing. It's so hard to put yourself completely out there and show all your cards. And it's hard for me to be like, this is 100% who I am, because there's no going back from that once I put this out. So, and I feel like it makes you look like in my own head, I'm thinking that if I say this and then I don't succeed at what I'm wanting to do, then that's going to create this reputation of like being a failure, which I really, really have to get over to succeed with what I want to do. But my first tattoo It's a really stupid one. So I'm trying not to. Yeah, it says commitment. And it's such a stupid thing. And it's all shot out and looks real bad and everything now. But it does hold a lot of meaning. And I got this tattoo when I was in this very, very depressive state. And I did not feel like I had any sort of outlet. And I just committed to this idea of trying my best to better myself, even if it felt like it wasn't working at all. I got the tattoo, started working out, journaling, praying, meditating, doing all that sort of stuff, and I committed to it. And it ended up working out, and now I'm not in that state anymore. And so this is kind of one of those moments again for me where it's like I need to put something out there, or put something on my body like this that's gonna stay out forever, and I have to commit to this person that I want to become. And I don't want to, like I was saying before, I don't want to live a normal life. I want to have this extraordinary life where I do everything that's been offered to me, which is gift of life. I know, super corny, whatever. But basically, when you're born, you have these unlimited abilities and opportunities and just chances to do whatever you want. And I don't want to be one of the people that takes that for granted. I want to live it fully. I want to show other people that they can also do that, and you can live your life however you feel. You don't have to be confined to societal norms or to your job or to your, I don't even know what I'm saying, but you get the point. So yeah, a little bit delusional, a little bit stupid, but we're out. So current working plan is to get my personal branding business up and running. So get the website going, get clients, number one. And I don't know how long I can do this for, but ideally I'd like to work for free, get really, really good at doing my personal branding stuff, and then say, hey, I can keep doing this, but now you need to pay me because I've been doing it for free for you for 2 months now, or whatever it is. And then once we do that, I want to take YouTube seriously as well. I post these fairly often-ish, just little life updates and kind of boring stuff. But I do want to make actually engaging, fun to listen to stuff as well, not just me. I sound all depressed right now and mellowed out. Bro. Oh, come on. Bro, I know this thing works. Are you kidding me? It just won't go all the way. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna stick with that. So yeah, I want to take YouTube seriously. I want to build out the business, and I have a bunch of other things that I'd like to do with my life, and I want to make that happen. I don't want to just dream about doing this stuff all the time. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at, and this is kind of really terrifying for me, but it is what it is. That's reality now. Oh, bro, I'm gonna lose my marbles, dude. That's as good as we get. Alright. Second plan. White. White. And my neighbor's stomping on my head. Alright, and then we're gonna do this. And it's a tiny little photo, not a big one. Alright, it'll be slightly dark for the rest of the video, sorry. Ooh, actually, better. Maybe that focuses it a little better on my face. Anywho, So yeah, take a big leap and commit to something. And if it's really stupid, I have utter faith in myself that I'll be able to figure it out because I don't really have any other option to. And yeah, I'll figure it out. It feels right to take something like this. And when I die, I don't want to be thinking back and not, like, I don't want to look back and regret not taking any big risks and just playing everything safe. I want to, like, have this life where, like, I did everything and I did all the stupid stuff. I did all the bad things, all the good things, everything in between, experienced every emotion, and, like, had a true full life and inspired others to do the same thing. So, yeah. That's kind of it.